to and from training and also to matches. The two buses were stolen from Netball House in St. Andrew over the weekend. Netball House is the official base of Jamaica's netball team. Meanwhile, World Netball, along with Netball Australia, are leading the charge to have the sport included in the 2032 Olympic Games set to be staged in Brisbane, Australia. The sport has been part of the Commonwealth Games since 1998, but is yet to be elevated to the big Olympic stage. So Lance, of course, we are supposed to be joined by the president of the Netball Association, so hopefully we can connect with her, if not today, later in the week.
Yes.
But you know, the first thing, and I'm starting with the first part and then maybe we can move to the second. How do you steal two buses from a location, and buses that of course belong to athletes, and you know somewhere deep down in your conscience, if you have one, that it's being used for a sport? I feel like this begs so much more questions than answers.
Yeah, a very shattering story, this really. Very, very shattering for everyone looking on, because these buses are very important to the girls. It's what transports them as a group to their training sessions and when they have matches, you know, and they already had the facility of this netball house on Whitcomb Road, which is above the Ligani area,
Right.
and which was a good thing for them. You know, it enhances the chemistry, the camaraderie, and the sort of togetherness when you are in one space. And as I said, the two buses would be their transportation to training and so on. And in a few weeks from now, when I say a few, probably 6 or 7 weeks from now, they have a triangular series coming up against Touring South Africa and the TNT Calypso girls. So they're going to be affected. You know, it is a strange story because apparently there were CC cameras that picked up exactly what was happening. I'm not sure if it happened from midnight onwards into the wee hours of the morning. So I'm not sure if the lighting will allow the police investigators to see as much as they would need to see to apprehend the culprits here. But my investigation or my understanding is that they were there for about 4 hours or so. They got there about midnight and they took their time stripping off the labels and the signs on the bus, because the buses were labeled, and they took their own time and stripped those off. And they were there for about 4 hours. And I heard the president talking on local radio in the last 24 hours, and she's saying when you looked at the video, they looked very relaxed and comfortable, as if they belonged.
And when you say that, you know, I mean, every time we get more and more information, it just doesn't make sense, Lance. Because for you to be at the particular location and feel very comfortable, you know, it's a bit worrying. But let's join the netball president. She's with us.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, Tricia. We're happy to have you on the SportsMax Zone.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Of course, you know, Lance and I were discussing before you joined us the issue of the two buses and, you know, the manner in which they were stolen. A lot of things don't really add up. Can you clear the air for us?
Could you repeat for me, please? You're a little low.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's me.
Okay.
I heard when you said a lot of things don't really add up.
Yeah, this situation with the buses, right, of course, being stolen from the compound, Lance and I was trying to, you know, come to terms with what really took place. And, you know...
Well, we're still trying to come to terms with what really took place. Somebody needs to pinch me and tell me it's a dream. Or should I say a nightmare? Well, the last time we had used the bus was on Friday evening. And so when the staff turned up for work on Monday, buses weren't there. As a matter of fact, I got a phone call, President, did you loan the buses out? So I said, no, I didn't. The driver said, they're not there.
Tricia, is it that there aren't proper security at the particular location?
The property is monitored by King Alarm. Yes, the property is monitored by King Alarm. We have an electronic gate at the house. Could more be done? There's always room for improvement, yes. We're looking at that with King Alarm. I mean, we discussed some additional measures that we put in place. But suffice to say that the property is secured by King Alarm.
Yeah. So I take it that there was no one in the building at the time that this happened.
No, and it occurred during a curfew period.
A curfew period. Okay.
Yes. Is there a tracking system on the bus? Yes, there's a tracking system on the bus.
Okay, so obviously the police is on top of the investigations. Is there a late word that you've gotten from them regarding where they are at the moment with these investigations?
No, as a matter of fact, I just came back from the police station where we provided them with some additional footage of what took place during the period. Mm-hmm. So they say they're doing their investigation. Mm-hmm. They're on top of it, and they'll keep us posted. Okay, so you, Tricia, would have looked at the footage. It was midnight going into the wee hours, I understand. Does the lighting afford the police any sort of clear visuals as to the culprits, or is it a difficult task? I've been told that they have equipment that can enhance whatever it is that was provided to them. So yes. Depending on that. All right, so how much of a setback is this then? Because we know the girls are preparing for the Triangular Series coming up, the Margaret Beckford Series coming up in October involving South Africa and Trinidad and Tobago. Right. How much of a setback is this for their preparations? Oh, well, that's like asking a carpenter to do a job without his requisite tools. The bus transports the girls to and from training on the days that they are in training. And we currently have 2 squads in training just now, the senior team as well as our development squad. And the development squad would include the under-21s who would have been to the World Netball Youth Cup in December. So we haven't taken them out of training. We survived yesterday with a loaner. Arrangements are being made for tomorrow. We're taking it one day at a time. It's really disturbing. It's distressing. Yeah. It really is. And of course, Tricia, we're going to move away now from such a distressing story and maybe to some happier news. Of course, World Netball's president, Liz Nicole, coming out to the forefront and saying that they want to include netball as a part of the Olympics. How has that been received by our Sunshine Girls? Oh, well, they're totally excited. I mean, that is the championship that netball has not been able to participate in. We do well on the world stage in all our other championships, and so that would be the icing on the cake for us. Yeah, and maybe you can talk to us a bit about how being a part of the Olympics would boost the sport of netball, especially in the Caribbean. Yes, marketers speak about eye on the sports and the numbers and what it means for them. To be globally accepted at the Olympics. I mean, youngsters dream to be at the Olympics. Who doesn't want to be at the Olympics representing their country? I think all the young people would be totally excited to be there and to participate. I mean, they see their track and field counterparts in the Caribbean participate. I'm sure they're really anxious to be a part of that. Tricia, as far as the Commonwealth region is concerned, netball is undisputed #1 as a female sport, a sport for women. It's undisputed #1. How disappointing is it for you as the Netball Jamaica president that the Olympic Games has not embraced netball as part of its sporting program? It is in the Commonwealth Games and not at the Olympic Games. You know what would be interesting, Lance, if it is that someone were to say, guys, this is what would make you be a part of the Olympics. Not have you trying to figure it out. Because I am sure if you knew what the problem was to any problem that it is that you're having, certainly you would work on the solution. So it would have been good if it is that the powers that be say, guys, listen, this is what we want you to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you do it, you'll be a part of the Olympics.
Yeah, and finally, Tricia, 1 to 10, 10 being the highest as far as optimism is concerned, how confident is the netball fraternity that 2032 Brisbane Olympics, that netball will be there? Because I know it's a proposal and it is a bid and they're working to get it done, but how confident is the netball fraternity that they would be?
I'm saying 11.
11?
I'm saying 11. I'm definitely saying it's an 11. It's 11. It's 11.
Okay, well.
Definitely.
I certainly hope you're right, because Australia is very, very big on netball, and
Yes,
if Brisbane hosts the first Olympics with netball in it, I think it would be a great fit. But Tricia, we thank you for talking to us here on the SportsMax Zone. I certainly hope the police will make some headway in trying to apprehend the criminals who stole the buses for the Sunshine Girls. And we'll be in touch and tracking that story, because it is a shattering story, to be quite honest. And we hope that the buses are retrieved.
Thank you so very much.
Okay, Tricia Robinson there. She is president of Netball Jamaica. As we go to break, here's our question. What are your thoughts on the West Indies facing England in their opening match at the Men's T20 World Cup? Send your voice note in, and it will be part of our interactive segment coming up in the last 10 minutes of our show. That's probably in another 20 minutes or so. We go to break. When we come back, Mariah has our second zone updates.